Heavyweight season! Hey everyone, my name is Grezzer, and right now I'm doing Break the Bar with JVH Studios. So let's break down these bars.
I'm not Future Trunks, I'll be selling your mics.
I'm not Future Trunks, I'll be selling your mics. It's basically a punchline. So I'm actually comparing myself to Future Trunks. So to all of the anime fans who watches Dragon Ball Z, there was one clip that I watched when I was younger, and it was Future Trunks. He was actually fighting with that alien. I think his name was I don't know his name. Freezer. Yeah, he was actually fighting this alien guy called Freezer, right? And he was super powerful. And Trunks was actually very vengeful. So what Trunks done is that he brought his sword out, he swung it, and what he done with Frieza is he basically sliced him multiple times, and after he sliced him multiple times at a rapid speed, then Future Trunks just blasted him with his hand. Kaboom! And that was it. So I actually compared myself to Future Trunks in reference of I always keep studying mics with our own lyrical prowess, with our own lyrical swordsmanship, and how I got skill with the microphone, with our own lyrical techniques. Compare myself to Future Trunks. Like not trying to say I'm all this and that, but again, just trying to be creative and trying to make my punchlines as much descriptive as much as I can. Yeah, I just gave you how to make a punchline.
Pretend punchlines knock it out. You see rainbows and batty men.
Punchlines knock it out. You see more rainbows and batty men. It's basically about so there's a term for gay men. Back in it's in British slang, or I think it's a Jamaican slang for gay men, batty men. That's what it is, and I think it's a rude term that people used, but the way I look at it is just, again, I used it for punchline references, to carry out a message of how hard hitting my punchline is, because you know in cartoons, right, or animation, and there's like someone fighting each other in a cartoon series, and let's say that a cartoon character happens to knock someone out. What happens to that person that gets knocked out? They start seeing stars, they start seeing rainbows, they start seeing some colourful effect. Or sometimes, alright, for example, like Looney Tunes, when someone get banged on the head and then you start seeing some mad birds just circulating on top of their heads. So yeah, so coming back to the reference, punchlines, talk about you see more rainbows than batty men. So in other words, again, it's a punchline / simile, again, because I use simile to compare myself with a like or as. So for example, batty men with the LGBT colourful flag. So again, the LGBT flag is very colourful, and punchlines talking about you see more rainbows than batty men is basically because the rainbow, the LGBT flag is rainbow, and basically that's it. So I basically compared it of how effective a punchline is by the time it knocks you out, and that's it.
Days, you know the name, you saw from a shade, you're pathetic. People like you should have been left in your daddy's condom. What to know the place?
You know the name, you stole from a shade, you're pathetic. People like you should have been left in your daddy's condom. What to know the place? Okay, so basically, it's a bar. It's a bar where it's basically a direct attack on anyone that wants to throw shade at my name, anyone that wants to trying to throw shade at me or be judgmental at me for no reason, because again, it could be out of jealousy, it could be out of insecurity, and yeah, so again, let me dive deep in that bar. Again, why I meant that you know the name, you still throw a shade. So in other words, when you rise up in status and when you're rising up to do many great things for yourself, then you're going to trigger a lot of insecurities from other people, because these are the type of people that doesn't take the accountability to improve on themselves. So they look for that stimuli of escapism to bring somebody down, to give them that dopamine hit that will literally hurt them at the end. Rather than them having the mental maturity to work on themselves, they want to project that that self-hate onto other people. So that's why. So for me to say, people like you should have been left in daddy's condo, what's in any place, is that people like you are basically, I'll possibly say, you shouldn't even be born in the first place if you're going to do that, because again, you're harming humanity. So again, what I mean by you being left in daddy's condo, what an only place, in other words, you're just basically a wasted sperm, or if not, a wasted birth from your mom. That's what I just meant. Like, you shouldn't be left in daddy's condom to the point where that dad should have just rinsed her off from the condom and just that's your little remaining bits of sperm inside the bin. and that's it. But all jokes aside, so yeah, instead of me trying to say, normally a rapper will be like, or anyone will be like, yeah, your mother should have swallowed you. I'll be like, you know what? That's cool, you're from American, but let me do it in my own British way. People like you should have been left in daddy's condom, what an only place. That one is pretty hard hitting. In other words, like, yo, because most people, it's like, who's my daddy? But it's like, yo, your dad should have just lived in this condom anyway if you're going to be throwing shade and being a horrible person, right?
I'm a screw loose, and my name's Frankenstein.
I'm a screw loose, I'm Frankenstein, cool. So basically, it's a double entendre. Again, it's a punchline. So, what I meant, I'm a screw loose, I'm Frankenstein, in other words, screw loose, right? It means in both ways. Screw loose means I'm off my head. Screw loose means that I'm crazy. That's what it means by that. Like, I'm screw loose. I'm crazy. Not as in a person, but crazy in a lyrical fashion. In other words, I'm crazy with the bars. I'm crazy with my own lyrical content. I'm crazy with my own lyrical ability. I'm crazy when I raise the bar high in a lyrical standard. Again, I'm not bragging myself, but I like to. It's just basically me comparing myself. So again, I have to reference, okay, who's is screw loose? Okay, Frankenstein. Because Frankenstein is basically a monster. He's being created and he has these two nails in between his head. So again, he's a screw loose. So I'll compare myself to Frankenstein, double entendre, that Frankenstein has screw loose between his head, while I'm crazy to the point where I'm a screw loose. So again, I'm comparing myself again with a like or as, and that's a simile. And the more descriptive you are with your punchline, the more people will understand what character or person you're trying to reference. This is Break the Bar, and I already broke down these bars for you, right? So like, comment, subscribe to JVT Studios, and subscribe to my own channel, Grezzer UK. And yeah, and my contacts, my information will be under the description. And yeah, God bless you lot. And heavyweight season.
Always on my feet like Donkey Kong's playing twice. On the beat, I've been laying rhymes. I'm like future trunks, I'll be studying mics. Challenge my position, you pay the price. I can't comprehend why you're acting arrogant, you're all for that bad events.